we're going to look at some examples of angles of elevation and depression in these application problems. So this first one says you're measuring the height of a tree. You stand 40 feet away from the base of the tree. The angle of elevation to the top of the tree is 65 degrees. Find the height of the tree to the nearest foot. So I have this tree that I want to find the height of, and I'm told that I am standing 40 feet away from the base of the tree. Just 40 feet here. And then it says the angle of elevation to the top of the tree is 65 degrees. So I need to think of what that means. Well, I know angle of elevation from this picture here is when you're below looking above at something. And so that means it's talking about this angle here from when I'm looking to the top of the tree. This angle is 65 degrees. So angle of elevation is always from you're below looking up above at something, and it's that angle. And I want to find the height of the tree, so I want to know what this side is. So now we're going to do like what we did before. I need to label the sides I have so I know what trig ratio to use. I like to first label my opposite side, and I know my opposite side is the side opposite of my given angle. That's not the right angle. So here my given angle is 65 degrees. So I'm going to draw an arrow to the opposite side of it, and I say that is my x. Now I need to figure out what my 40 feet is. And so it's going to be either the hypotenuse or adjacent. Well, I know that the hypotenuse is the side opposite of my right angle. And so that would be this side over here. So it's not my hypotenuse. So that means that 40 is my adjacent side. So now thinking of SOHCAHTOA, I see that the trig ratio that has opposite and adjacent is going to be the TOA. So that means I'm going to have tangent of, I always put my given angle here, so that is 65, is equal to my opposite, which I have as x, over my adjacent, which is 40. And now I just need to solve this. So I want to put this over 1. And when I cross multiply, I have 1 times x, which is equal to x, is equal to 40 times tangent of 65. And I'm rounding this to the nearest foot. So I want to go over to Desmos. I want to first click on this wrench, change this to degrees, because otherwise I will get a wrong answer. And type in 40 times tangent of 65. And so I get this long decimal here, but I want to round this to the nearest foot, so the nearest whole number. So I want this first place here. I look next door, it's a 7. That means I need to round up, so this would be approximately 86 feet. Okay, let's try another one. You're skiing down a hill with an altitude of 800 feet. The angle of depression is 15 degrees. Find the distance x you ski down the hill to the nearest foot. So I have this hill that skiing down. I'm told a hill has an altitude of 800 feet, so it means it's 800 feet tall. And here I instead have the angle of depression is 15 degrees. And so back to that first video, angle of depression, that's when you're up above looking down at something. So I'm up above, and I have this horizontal line. And the angle I'm looking down at the bottom of the hill is 15 degrees. However, this 15 degrees is outside of my right triangle that I have here. So to put it back inside, I just need to remember our properties of parallel lines and transversals. I see this is really just two parallel lines cut by transversal, and if you remember back to chapter 3, that means that these two angles are congruent. So this is actually 15 degrees right here as well. And then lastly, I'm trying to find the distance x that you ski down the hill. So I want to know what this length is right here, how far that slope is. So I have everything labeled, and now I have this triangle right here. So I need to label my side. So first I'm going to label my opposite side. So I'm going to draw an angle from a line from my given angle. And so I see that the 800 is my opposite side. Now I need to figure out what my x is. Well, I see that my x is opposite of my right angle. So that means that this is my hypotenuse. So I'm given my opposite and my hypotenuse. So that means I want to do so. So I'm going to have sine of my given angle, which here is 15, is equal to my opposite side, which is x, no, not x, 800, over my hypotenuse, which is x. Next I want to cross multiply, so I have 1 times 800, and I get 800 is equal to x times sine of 15. I'm going to divide both sides by sine of 15. And so you have that x is equal to 800 divided by sine of 15. And I'll put that into Desmos. So I have 800 divided by sine of 15. And I want to round to the nearest foot, so I'm going to get 3,091 feet. Go ahead and pause the video. I want you to go ahead and try number 1. So the answer you should have gotten for problem 1 was 1,962 feet. And so this one was an angle of depression again. And so that means that the watchtower is looking down at the fire, and that angle is 3.5. And remembering from our properties of parallel lines cut by transversal, that means that this angle down here is really 3.5. And so I have an opposite and adjacent, so I needed to use tangent here. Okay, pause the video again and try number 2. So the answer you should have gotten for this one was 184 meters. This one, we have the Space Needle here, and since there's an angle of elevation from the tip of the shadow to the top of the Space Needle, that's going to be this angle right here. And so this will end up being tangent, and when you solve, you get 184.